Now, if we could actually do this one, this would be great. But unfortunately, this is someone's exclusive content and all we get is a snippet. So this is Biden's sister, as you can plainly read, talking about the addiction of Hunter Biden. And there's something about families and addiction that I've noticed. There are either families that know how to manipulate the law or control the law and therefore escape prosecution, or there are families that have manipulators within it, either former victims or abusers, whichever way, that convince their younger generation within it, oh, this is normal. We're a normal family. And therefore, they never think to speak up because as far as they're concerned, everybody is in the same boat. I will say there really are people who have addiction issues. But as many of us have seen via the news, this family has an abuse issue. And so we're going to dissect Granny here, or better it be said, Auntie here, to see what kind of mentality is running through this family.
And the people that I know, it sneaks up and it all of a sudden it's there. I don't know a family in America who hasn't tasted.
All right, so as she speaks, we're seeing the Believe Me look pretty much plastered on. It looks obvious that she has had some work done on her face via the surgical knife. She's staying close to her body, so she's not open. She's not very relaxed. And it looks like this is her norm. And I say that because she easily speaks with her hands in this position. So she's always tight to herself, which kind of goes with the family mentality of tight to itself, kind of like a mob mentality.
Touched it, felt it, been affected by it.
And then you see been affected by it. She goes to herself, arms crossed over each other. It's a hug. It's a very protective hug. And when you see it come in that way to where it encompasses the entire body and squeezes in, it's not just one dynamic of the abuse via the addict, physical, anything. It's like an all-encompassing issue.
And it's a struggle, and
it's a struggle. The head goes down, the eyes go down. She's looking for the words, and at the same time, she's submitting to the obvious.
So proud of Hunter, who wrote it.
So proud of Hunter. Look at that again.
Felt it, been affected by it, and it's a struggle, and I am so proud of Hunter.
So proud of Hunter, and it's a very quick movement. The mouth goes in, goes tight, quick in, tight lips, quick, and then release. There really isn't much pride in Hunter. It's very tight. And you have to look at it from their perspective. Oh, he is a struggler. And this is the enabling part. You make excuses for them, and they make excuses for you. I've tried, Auntie. I've tried. It's just so hard. So that she can walk away in her mind and convince herself, he has tried. I'm so proud of him. He's just struggling. But in her core, that's why you see that tight-lipped quickness, she knows he's a douchebag. There's nothing to be proud of.
Who wrote in exquisite detail in his book about his.
So we see multiple flashes in the eyelids. We're dating the talk.
His life in hell for many years, his journey through hell.
Another blink that goes with the word, the emphasis, and the Believe Me look. So we've got a multitude of tells going into this, where at this point, this is where the mentality comes in. It's not actually deception. You're looking at someone who's convinced themselves of this reality that she's painting for you. It's an acceptable world in her family. It's like somebody came along, said that the sun is pink, and in your little village, oh, okay, it's pink. They all know that it's not pink, but they're willing to sit there and say, it is pink. So when outsiders come in and they're told that the sun is pink, they know that they're actively lying. But in their world, this is acceptable. We've just changed the meaning of the sun color, that's all. But they don't want to admit that part either. But she knows that it's not. And that's why we see that multitude of little stress marks everywhere. But you don't see a true deception. You also see that her hands are still crossed across her chest, back to the reference of affecting pretty much herself. They know. They know it's not right. They know it's not acceptable. But the culture inside the family accepts this as this is reality. This is what we do. It would have been interesting to sit there and see her talk about Biden. We may see the actual same kind of body language where she knows it's not acceptable, but Biden says, and therefore it is.
And he came out of the throes of addiction, and
So now she's saying that he came out of the throes of addiction. She moves back and away from it. She's rubbing her legs, it looks like, from the movement of the upper arms. Now she's actively being deceptive. She knows this. This is something that even the family doesn't hide from.
I'm so grateful. So how we get addicted, I don't know. I think it has something to do with genes, but maybe not.
And there's her honesty. How we get addicted, I don't know. You see the shoulder turn, head turn with it. She doesn't know. She probably has some theories in her head because she's tight into herself. But again, that goes into the opinion part, and the mind can be fluid with that because it's not being deceptive. It's their opinion. Which is why it's very, very important when looking at politicians who are going to be running an office, and it's why it used to be that you had to have a good family. Come from, you didn't get divorced. You didn't do drugs. You weren't an alcoholic. This was the reason why, because this is what you get if you're from those things. Obviously, you had a Trump come through. You should be judging a politician on their ability to run a business, because that's what America is. It's a business in the federal sense of the word. And your local politicians, they're your freedoms and represent your culture. So if you're electing somebody with some real big issues and has a hard time allowing freedom even inside their family, probably not somebody you should elect.
Just to let subscribers know, Skinwalker Ranch 3 has now been released.
If you like it, please share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.